When the incident with Luigi Mangione first happened, everybody wanted to know, how could we have possibly gotten to this point? And it's not that hard of a concept. People are poor, they're angry, they're frustrated, tired of being taken advantage of. Whether you feel like they are or not is irrelevant. They do. They feel like they are. Luigi felt like he was, and he blamed the healthcare system. Unfortunately, one person had to suffer for the capitalist decisions of an entire industry, the entire healthcare industry. One man had to pay for their sins. And the ripple effects of what Luigi did meant that business needed to change. But you can't make everybody happy. This is America. Somebody has to lose.
Investors are suing UnitedHealth Group for approving too much medical care. The lawsuit alleges that the insurance giant was no longer willing to use the aggressive, anti-consumer tactics that it would need to achieve its earnings goals. In essence, after public backlash following the unaliving of one of their executives.
I've always find it difficult to talk about this stock without acknowledging what happened with UnitedHealthcare CEO. And then the subsequent anger.
UnitedHealthcare had to bow to public pressure. They had to deny less care. And that, investors argue, is not what they signed up for.
What that would suggest to me is that probably United and maybe the industry pulling back on some of the activity they do to manage utilization, which obviously causes a bunch of consumer dissatisfaction.
Pay attention to the jargon here. Instead of denying and delaying care, it's the activity they do to manage utilization. But investors aren't only angry about the undermining of their business model. The crux of their complaint is that United lied about how much public pressure would affect their bottom line. When the truth came out, United had to revise their earnings forecast from $28 a share to $25, setting off alarm bells on Wall Street. I share these numbers because I think it's important to understand that millions of people have critical healthcare denied or delayed so that investors can see their stocks earn $3 more per share. This lawsuit raises all kinds of questions, like if public scrutiny disappears, will United resume denying more care?
Hemsley apologized to investors for recent performance setbacks, he called them, from both external and internal challenges.
But more importantly, I think it shows the crux of our for-profit healthcare system. The billions in profit reaped by companies like UnitedHealth is largely dependent on their ability to deny care. And any deviation from that strategy will get you sued by your investors.
One of the investors that they're talking about is BlackRock. And I'm going to link the channel down in the description. It comes from More Perfect Union. I want to link that channel down in the show notes so you can check them out. But investors are mad, and I get it. I am an investor, so I can understand where you're coming from when you're saying, hey, I want to make money. If I put this money at risk, I want to make a return on that money. And it's your job to manage the company and grow that money on my behalf, or at least attempt to. That's your fiduciary responsibility. I can get it. We don't donate money to these businesses. We are investing it and making an educated guess that it's going to make us a return. And it's your responsibility to make sure that that happens. But we have to look at how we got here in the first place. Why the stock is down. The stock is down because they are approving more claims. But they're approving more claims because Luigi assassinated a man that was working for the very same company. The fallout of the assassination was so bad that they had to remove the CEO and all the pictures of the leadership from the company websites and LinkedIn and everything else. And a bunch of companies did it. It wasn't just UnitedHealth Group. It was tons of companies. And they were even trying to set up a line specifically for CEOs to be able to call the police. Nobody wanted their face plastered online as part of the decision-making chain at these companies. So that happened back in December, and it was all well and good at that time. Investors thought that it would blow over. We're 6 months, 7 months removed. They thought it would blow over and they could get back to regularly scheduled business. That's the double-edged sword of our society. We have a short memory. So we want to get back to the profits, back to raking people over the coals with their health insurance again. But we also don't want another incident like the one that happened in November or December of 2024. And as someone who's new to civilian healthcare, like you guys know, I was in the military for 12 years. What you guys don't know is I grew up under the military system, healthcare system my entire life because my dad was in as well. So I never knew how expensive it was to afford healthcare until I got out about 2 years ago. How stressful it is, not only to pick your plan, but have to pay all of these out-of-pocket fees. So I'm not saying that Luigi was right, but we aren't so civilized that people don't take out their frustrations on the people that they feel caused them. That's how we got here. By the way, if you don't know, Luigi is potentially looking at the death penalty. So I'd be hard pressed to say that he won in any sense of the word. This is a letter that somebody wrote to Luigi. It says, "How do you remain so chill? Jules, I spent 1.5 years living on a broken spine that I could feel sliding every time I stood up, walked, or rolled over in bed. To exist in such a state, your physical being split in two is an endless physical and mental war within yourself. After you have fought and won internal wars, nothing external, nothing can ever faze you. That, and I have the best team in the world." Luigi absolutely made a moment. He made a statement, and he'll always be remembered for it. But based on what's going on with UnitedHealth Group and their investors, they're going to get back to business as usual in no time. The pause that he made on the industry is not going to last. Investors are kicking those CEOs in the back and saying, "Yo, get back to the profits." The guy in the beginning of our video, he said they were only off by $3 per share. But when you extrapolate that over millions of shares, that's a whole lot of money. And they're not going to continue to lose. They're going to do exactly what their investors want. They're going to start denying claims again. So what impact did Luigi really make? Those are my thoughts. If you like the video, subscribe to me back here for the next conversation. If you have something to say, let the world know. This is the place for discourse. Until next time, peace.